right, welcome to week 8. Let's take a look at what we've got going on for this week. And so you've got your interactive textbook and video lesson, reading quiz, just like normal. And then watch out, you do have 2 Maple TA homeworks this time. And so you have the homework A that's due with the Thursday deadline, and then also homework B due on Saturday. And so make sure you get both of those done in Maple TA. And you also have your group assignment, which we'll take a look at in a minute. And then Unit 2 reflection. And so make sure on your reflection you're really putting some thoughtful answers down. I'll be looking for paragraphs of at least 3 sentences in as your answers. And so really put some thought into your answers on these because that's what I'll be looking for in my grading. Let's take a look at that group assignment. And so a couple parts to this one, starting here with Lee's retirement. And so Lee is 26, he wants to retire at 65, and so he wants to build up this retirement fund from which he can draw interest income of $150,000 a year. Okay, and so you're going to kind of help him evaluate this situation and what he needs to do in order to build this retirement account so that he can do this. And so starting with our quantitative reasoning process, identifying variables and assumptions, applying your quantitative tools, and working through these. And so as part of that, you'll be using the payment function again that you used before in Excel, and then it's also giving you kind of this buying power function based on rates of inflation here that you'll also be using as you work through this. The next part of this is really just some graphing practice here, and so it gives you linear functions, quadratic and exponential right here, and it wants you to kind of identify the key things that you need and then graph each of those. And so you'll notice it has this note down here saying that if possible you want to use a drawing tool on your computer so that others in your group can see this, because you'll want to work on these together. And so Zoom actually does have an option to use a whiteboard on there, and so I think that's a good option if you want to use the whiteboard. Or I often use just a program like Paint. Works really good as a drawing tool where you can kind of sketch these graphs and stuff. And so if you can, that's a great way to go and a good way to share with your group the graphs as you're working on these. And then it also, notice it says you don't need to include those graphs in your file, but make sure you are doing the graphs together as your group. And that's it for your group assignment right there. And pretty much that is it for the week. Just beware, next week you will have your next exam on Unit 2, and so maybe start getting ready for that as well. Please continue to post those questions to the Questions and Conversations discussion board, and I'm happy to help you there, or you can send me an email if you need to. I'm happy to help you that way as well.